Then we shoot, shoot, shoot. My responsibility on set usually would be to make sure if there's a costume problem, if there's a hair and makeup problem, if there's anything that the actors need, I would be in charge of that. If there's another major actor back at the base, then I would go back to the base. And I would make sure that they're getting ready because their scene starts at 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. This is how the day would go. Eventually, we would wrap up at, say, 6, 7. Then us ADs would stay back with the director to have a meeting on the next day's shoot till 9 p.m. Then all of us kids would go out for dinner because we have officially, our legs have given up. We would go home. My mom would keep calling me. I would not answer. I'm like, I need to sleep. You don't get much sleep and you wake up at 4 a.m. to repeat the whole cycle again. But the best part was, and I did this for a really long time, and it did take and this is something that thankfully is changing in Bollywood on a serious note. There is a sort of abuse of manpower because they make them work extra hours, which is something that doesn't happen on international film sets. They're very professional about it because, well, the union laws are very strong and you have to pay overtime, and no producer wants to pay any more than he has to. But those laws are getting stricter in Bollywood, but it was pretty bad back when I was there. They would just keep you there for 15 hours every day, and you would lose your head by the end of it, and everyone would start yelling on the walkie. And the special moments, when they would do an emotional scene, the actors, it would get really quiet on set, and it would get so heightened. You could feel the magic happening. And song and dance sequences are a blast because the dancers are having fun, the choreographers are having fun, the actors are having fun dancing, the whole crew is having fun. So yeah, those are pretty fun.
Thank you, Mom. That was lovely.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, my question was behind the camera or in front of the camera. What do you think is more rewarding and more satisfying, and why?
It totally depends on what you want to do. I've done both, and both have been equally rewarding to me based on what I wanted. When I wanted to be behind the camera, that's what was rewarding. Now I like being in front of the camera. It's so rewarding. So it's about where you want to be. They're equally rewarding if you give your 100% and you're working with a good crew. And they're equally not rewarding if you're working with a shitty crew.
Okay, Ma'am. So, yeah. Ma'am, my next question is coming from me personally because I really want to get into this line. So there's always been an argument around nepotism and how it's pretty difficult for outsiders with no contact to get into the industry. So my question is, what all steps do you recommend for a person, like an aspirant, to follow to really put themselves in the industry so that, they can make contacts and they're aware at least that, auditions are happening and all of that. So
once you get your leg in, you will make contacts. The biggest project to my credit is Extraction, not because Chris Hemsworth was starring it, not just that. It was a Marvel produced franchise. And let me tell you how I landed that. The behind the scenes photographer on Thugs was a really good friend of mine, became a really good friend. He told me they're looking for an AD, do I want to work there? You will make contacts. You will make, once you get your leg in, once you're in Mumbai in the heat of things, you will meet people, you will make contacts. Nepotism is sadly a very, very real thing. It is. It is. You can fight it, ignore it. Don't worry about it. Because the country also has reached a point where if the actor is not worth it, they don't care. I don't see anyone saying I don't know, what's that girl's name? The Pandey girl. Like, I don't see anyone saying they're a fan of hers. Whereas someone like Radhika Apte has a huge fan following. She had no connections. Once you get your leg in, and those are the steps I wanted to give you, I guess I should have elaborated a little more on what happens after. you will make contacts. That's just a cycle. Once you're in the cycle, the wheel won't stop moving. If you stop, it'll stop. But if you're there, like now, I don't get any more Bollywood offers to work as an AD because I stopped. And now they know I've shifted my gears anyway. But back when I was there, it was a constant. It's like, okay, this, it'll keep happening. Don't worry about that. And don't compare yourself to, you cannot compare yourself to those rich, spoiled brats. And they are rich, spoiled brats. Let me tell you that. I've met a few of them. They are a nuisance. And they cannot act to save their life. And they have no personality. And actually, no director wants to work with them. They work with them because the actors pay, their parents pay them the money. Be like, here's so-and-so, like, cast my daughter. So don't compare yourself to something that is not even a competition to begin with.
Thank you, Mom.
That's what I would say. Thank you.
Yeah, Saina?
Ma'am, my question was, as there are a few female directors in Bollywood, was it difficult for you as well to prove your mettle?
Yes. Bollywood is a sexist place. That's because our country is a sexist place. Just like Hollywood is a very, very money-oriented place. They don't care about you. They only care about money. Because America is a money-oriented country. It's nothing different. It's not a magical land of Narnia where things have worked differently. They work the same way they work in the country. It is a sexist place. You will meet people who will undermine you because of your gender, but you will also meet people who will not care, who will love you for how well you can work. All, apart from the first AD, who was a nuisance on Thugs, all of us ADs were women. All of us. Most of Yash Raj ADs today are women. So many behind-the-scenes photographers, all costume designers, the biggest production designers, art directors, they're all women. The art director of Tamasha, one of my closest friends, is a woman. So don't worry about that. It's just like any other industry. You have to prove your mettle. Is there no one else with a question, or is it just a back and forth between the two of you?
So, Ma'am, my next question is, we've all heard about the director's vision. So how would you, as a director, describe your director's vision to be as?
Vision, honest, keep it honest. And it's very difficult. I just did my thesis film in Masters. It was a way more emotional experience than I thought I would because I had to self-direct. You have to have something honest to say because here's the thing. Every story in the world has already been made into a movie. It's just a different perspective that you can give on it. There are a million love stories. There are a million heartbreak stories. There are a million superhero movies. It's your perspective on it. So you gotta believe in what you have to say. And here's one thing. If you want to polish your director's vision, watch good movies, man. My mother can attest to it. She's here somewhere. I have been scolded because all my summer vacations were spent watching 3 movies a day on the computer. And she'd like, you're going to ruin your eyes, which I did. But I just watched movies from all over the world, not just Bollywood. Watch everything. That's how you learn. The first time I watched, Richard Linklater, which is today my favorite director, or Quentin Tarantino, it blew my mind. Go watch Pakiza. It's a stunning movie, and it'll hit you different at this age, and it'll hit you different when you're my age.
Thank you, Ma'am.
That was really nice. Yeah, Anushka, I think.
Yes. So with this, we come to the end of the session.
Okay.
On behalf of the principal, faculty, and students of Army Public School Dhaulakuan, I thank you, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time and gracing us with your virtual presence. Thank you, Komal ma'am, for joining this session and making it even more worthwhile. A big thank you to all my schoolmates for being such patient listeners and inquisitive audience. I hope you'll be taking a lot to think about with you today. We wish you all the very luck for all your future endeavors, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is so sweet. I hope to see a lot of you get into the industry and break the norms and do really well. And I have no doubt.
And